it works.
Okay.
Now we can start receiving questions. Now we're on stage and the auditorium can start to come up with questions to the subjects of your presentations.
Mm-hmm.
If there is nothing coming yet, you might discuss a little bit between yourself what you want to know from each other about the subjects which had been presented. I hope not all the visitors have already left for dinner. So
maybe to Chris from United, the question, why did you go for 750 volt? I mean, couldn't you go for higher, or why just specifically the 750 volt for the Gen 4?
Well, I'm not at United anymore, but I was IQ Evolution, but probably because I try to answer that question anyway, probably because of the voltage, battery voltage at 400 volts. Higher voltages are also possible. I think they have 900 volts, but I guess that question probably should go to my past colleagues.
Yeah, that's a question to Anoop, but Anoop is not with us today. Anoop had his session yesterday. So.
Yeah, sorry for mixing up.
That's okay.
No, it's too complex, this industry, and people come and go. And there is the first question to CISSOID. Is the IPM product automotive qualified?
So we are going to we are qualifying the product with German EQG 324 standard, but the qualification is not yet finished. So the product will be available when the qual is finished. But it's the goal to qualify the product for automotive.
Thank you, Pierre.
You're welcome.
The next question is a very long one. Let me read it. And as we see today, the major camps presented on wide bandgap market are GaN on silicon or SiC. A lot of efforts, time and money have been invested to advance the related technologies. Do you see a chance on the market for the alternative substrates, for example, 3C SiC on Si, if someone will obtain reliability and cost-effective growth technology? So, Agnes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean,
you want to answer.
It's always with the manufacturing, it's always a little bit this chicken and egg topic as you have. So to produce something in a cost-effective way, you need to have the tools and available. And usually, to have the tools available, the market needs to be there to be developed. So for everything that is need to go into volume production, and that is not an just in university state, the tools and the equipments need to be developed, and therefore the market needs to be there with the cost-effective solutions to get those. So usually, as you mentioned, that there is a reliable and cost-effective growth technology. Yes, sure. If this would be there and then it can be implemented, I would think so. But so far, it's always targeting for the cost-effective production solutions that are already there, which is the cost-effective mostly. And this is again on silicon, because you can use a lot of the silicon-based manufacturing equipment, and the same for silicon carbide.
Thank you, Agnes. I know exactly what it means. When I did application and marketing, and that was in the mid-80s, I had IGBTs, getting them to the market. And you need to have a volume customer who wants to get the device to get the further ongoing investment and attention in the manufacturing. Exactly, it's the egg and the chicken problem. So again, the question to Agnes, for X-FAB, I see that X-FAB does SiC epitaxy. Does it also do GaN epitaxy?
No, currently we're not doing GaN epitaxy in-house for ourselves. We have here strong collaborations with epitaxy partners where we can do the epitaxy exactly as this is needed for customers. And yeah, we're working here on strong collaborations.
Here we have a question which is misleaded from Francesco Di Domenico. It's to United Silicon Carbide. The question is, but we can put it general and not to United Silicon Carbide. In which applications do we see the trend of 500 volt bulk voltage, which is not really visible in today's server and telecom high power density switch mode power supplies? Whoever is in your area to answer that might make a comment. Otherwise, that question should have been related to be sent yesterday to United Silicon Carbide. Okay. Looking forward to more questions from the auditorium. I can only tell Francesco that we will hold that question and forward it to Anoop.
Would be interesting to know, nevertheless, because 500 volt bulk voltage would be the exact application for this new generation MOS and FETs from them. So could be even more applications with this voltage. So it'd be interesting to see who starts getting into the market.
The last one was a 750 volt device. What I remember from yesterday's presentation. So just now, We have no questions on the screen. The day in Europe comes more to an end and things get slower. Could be that people are hungry and rush home or rush from the living room to the kitchen to check the fridge. We never know what happened at the moment.
Bodo, could you comment about the number of attendees to the conference?
I can say that we started yesterday was 180. I do not know the exact number today, but it seems that we are in the range like the real conference we had in Munich, and that was close to 200 attendees. That's what I remember from the last 3 years. And it's a good amount of attendees. I remember that the podiums discussion I did at PCIM mid of the year had roughly something up to 80 people, which attended them virtually. So I think it's a good tool to come together for a conference. And I'm thinking about more tools which can help to keep going. I think the next year will be still dominated by the coronavirus, and we might be at the end of the year to see light at the end of the tunnel. But I think modifications in these kind of events is necessary, and to link them with my printed magazine would make that very efficient. You see, the printed magazine is online as well as in print, and all the magazines are in the archive. Anybody can register and get the PDF downloaded from the archive. So I think conferences will get a different kind of format for the future, as people probably for the next time will not travel so much as they had done in the past. That's my feeling, and we have the possibilities to see each other in the virtual conference and talk and solve problems and stay safe by that. That's quite something. So, okay, I just got a comment. That's a pity that we couldn't meet at the MOOC airport this year. And so that was a comment that ChemFem has liked that, and it's good feedback that we were able to serve the industry and keep the industry going forward on innovation. If we did not receive more questions, I would say thank you to the auditorium. Have a safe Christmas time. Stay safe. And oh, there is another question coming in. For X-FAB, what SiC wafer volume do you expect to process in 3 years from now in MOSFET and diodes?
That's a good question. I would like to know that as well. So ideally, the whole of our capacity, if it would be up to me. And of course, this depends on the products we make. So diodes are smaller, so more diodes are on one wafer than MOSFETs, of course. So let's say, as I just said, we're set there to dedicate all of our capacity in Lubbock, Texas to silicon carbide, and I would love to do that. But as we discussed in several other question and answer sessions already, this will be depending on the market and how the market can take up. And this is what we're all waiting for here, obviously.
Another question, how popular is it now in electric vehicle inverter applications using shunt? I guess majority is LEM current sensor.
I guess a question about using a shunt in an inverter. It's a question to Isabellenhütte. It's more and more popular to use shunt, especially for higher current. You have a wide range of accuracy measurement, very small part compared to a LEM module. So it's certain applications in electric vehicle, like DC-DC converters or inverter, or for instance, measuring the battery current. So it's more and more question to use shunts instead of LEM or Hall effect sensors.
Thank you. I had seen just a question which I want to answer. All sessions and all question and answer sessions will be available by Friday on my web. So anybody who had missed anything can go to my web and will find it under the section wide bandgap. The next question I see here is addressing to X-FAB. What are the main difference between SiC JFET and SiC MOSFET from wafer process perspective?
Yeah, thank you for the question. From the processing perspective, they are similar yet different. So it's a slightly different cell pitch and different processing steps and implants that you need to do to be able to manufacture them. And there's a gate oxide in the MOSFET, and in the JFET it isn't. So it's a different processing steps that you need to do them.
Thank you, Agnes. So we are facing a quiet Christmas time. We should do all what we can to flatten the curve, that we stay healthy. And I have not had done any business travel this year. I did everything by phone conferences, and I think that will continue into 2021. But it's a way to keep things going. So as we now come to an end, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year that's addressed to all the presenters from yesterday and today, and to all the people in backstage making that successful, and to all the auditorium that is a event that will remain next year, hopefully in a real event in the Hilton in the airport in Munich. So have a good night today, and see you next year again. Okay.
Thank you, Bodo.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Everybody
Bye.
in the background for the conference.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.